Hey, thank you for joining us today, Tony. Your life journey has been one of exploration and discovery. How has travel shaped who you are?
Thanks for having me. Travel changes you. As you move through this life and this world, you change things slightly. You leave marks behind, however small. In return, life and travel leaves marks on you. It's a symbiotic relationship. Every city, every meal, every person I've encountered has added to my understanding of the world and myself.
You've always emphasized the importance of food in understanding culture. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Food is everything we are. It's an extension of nationalist feeling, ethnic feeling, your personal history, your province, your region, your tribe, your grandma. When you share a meal, you learn a lot about someone. It's a window into their life, their values, and their history. That's why I believe that if I'm an advocate for anything, it's to move as far as you can, as much as you can. Walk in someone else's shoes or at least eat their food. It's a plus for everybody.
You've had your share of ups and downs. How do you view the challenges that come with travel and life in general?
Travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart. But that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. It leaves marks on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, and on your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you leave something good behind.
What advice would you give to young people today regarding travel and exploration?
If you're 22, physically fit, hungry to learn and be better, I urge you to travel as far and as widely as possible. Sleep on floors if you have to. Find out how other people live, eat, and cook. Learn from them wherever you go. It's about the gorgeous feeling of teetering in the unknown. That's where the magic happens.
You often mention the value of spontaneity in travel. Why is that so important?
I'm a big believer in winging it. You're never going to find the perfect travel experience or the perfect meal without a constant willingness to experience a bad one. Letting the happy accident happen is what a lot of vacation itineraries miss, I think. Just in those unplanned moments, real stories and memories are made. As you reflect on your life, what are some of the key lessons you've learned? I think wisdom is realizing how small I am and unwise and how far I have yet to go. Life is about learning and evolving. You have to be willing to ask questions and try new things. Without experimentation, a willingness to explore, we shall surely become static, repetitive, and moribund.
Your career has been quite the adventure. How do you feel about the journey you've taken?
It's been an adventure. We took some casualties over the years. Things got broken, things got lost, but I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Every mistake, every misstep has taught me something valuable. There's a certain beauty in the chaos of life.
As someone who has faced personal struggles, how have those experiences influenced your perspective on life?
I was an unhappy soul with a huge heroin and then crack problem. I hurt, disappointed, and offended to meet people, and I regret a lot. The shame I have to live with. But those experiences have given me a deeper appreciation for life and the people around me. I know what I want. I want it all. I want to try everything once, and I want to make the most of the time I have.
Looking ahead, what do you hope your legacy will be?
Anything is good for pounding humility to you permanently. It's the restaurant business. I hope my legacy is one of curiosity and openness. I want people to remember me as someone who embraced life fully, someone who wasn't afraid to look like an idiot, and someone who championed the idea that food, culture, people, and landscape are all absolutely inseparable.
Your approach to life and travel is refreshing. You've talked about the importance of honesty and authenticity in storytelling. Why is that vital to you?
Honesty is crucial. When you're telling stories, especially about food and culture, you have to be true to the experience. It's about showing the raw, unfiltered reality of life. Let's face it, there's an unreasonable attitude to look in the mirror in the morning and think, you know, there are people out there who would really like to hear my story. Yet, if you tell it authentically and from the heart, people will connect with it. They can sense when you're being genuine, and that connection is what makes the story resonate.
You've had a wide range of experiences, from the highs of success to the lows of personal struggle. How do you navigate those extremes?
It's a balancing act. I've experienced the thrill of success, but I've also faced serious demons. I should have died in my 20 seconds, but here I am still standing. I feel like I've stolen a car. It's a really nice car, and I keep looking in the rearview mirror for flashing lights, but there's been nothing yet. I think the key is to embrace both sides of the coin. I've learned to appreciate the good times, and when the bad times come, I remind myself they're just part of the journey.
You've also touched on the idea that food can be a starting point for broader conversations, even about world peace. Can you explain that?
Food may not be the answer to world peace, but it's a start. It brings people together, transcending language and cultural barriers. When you share a meal, you're engaging in an act of trust and connection for a moment or a second. The pinched expressions of the cynical, world-weary, throat-cutting, miserable bastards we've all had to become disappear. When we're confronted with something as simple as a plate of food, it's an opportunity to understand each other better and find common ground.
As you reflect on your career, how do you feel about the challenges you faced in the restaurant business?
If anything is good for pounding humility into you permanently, it's the restaurant business. It's tough and it can't break you. I've seen talented people burn out, and I've had my own struggles. But I think that's part of the charm of it all. Practicing your craft in expert fashion is noble, honorable, and satisfying. It's a hard life, but it teaches you resilience.
Your life has been filled with incredible stories and adventures. If you could sum up your philosophy in a few words, what would they be?
I always entertain the notion that I'm wrong, or that I'll have to revise my opinion. Most of the time it feels good, sometimes it really hurts and is embarrassing. But that's how we grow. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Life is about embracing the unknown and allowing yourself to be changed by it. Barbecue has been a recurring theme in your travels and shows. What is it about barbecue that resonates so deeply with you? Barbecue may not be the world peace, but it's a start. It's communal, it's celebratory, and it's a way for people to come together. There's something primal and deeply satisfying about cooking over an open flame, sharing the fruits of your labor with friends and family. It embodies the essence of hospitality. It brings people together in a way few other foods can. Plus, there's just something magical about the flavors and the camaraderie of it all. Your love for food often reflects a deeper philosophy about life. How do you think food connects to our identities and experiences? Food is a reflection of who we are. It's tied to our history, our culture, and our emotions. It's inseparable from our identities. Food can evoke memories, bring back feelings of comfort that connect us to our roots. It tells our stories, where we come from, what we value, and how we relate to the world. When you sit down to eat, you're not just consuming, you're participating in a ritual that transcends time and place.
Your quote, "You learn a lot about someone when you share a meal together," really encapsulates the essence of connection through food. Can you share more about why you believe meals are such a powerful medium for understanding one another?
Absolutely. When you sit down to share a meal with someone, you're engaging in a very intimate act. Food is a universal language. It breaks down barriers and invites vulnerability. You're not just tasting flavors, You're tasting a piece of someone's culture, their upbringing, their history. The act of sharing food fosters conversation, storytelling, and connection. It creates a space where people can be themselves, where they can let their guard down and reveal who they really are.
As you consider the passage of time and your own journey, what are your thoughts on aging and how it influences your outlook?
Aging is inevitable, but it can be a blessing if you allow it to be. I think it's important to embrace the changes that come with it. There's a certain clarity that comes with age, a recognition of what matters most. I have come to understand that our movements through time and space seem somehow trivial compared to a heap of boiled meat and broth. The smell of saffron, garlic, fish bones, and pernod. It's the simple pleasures that often hold the most significance.
Your perspective on embracing experiences and living fully is inspiring. If you were to give one piece of advice to someone who feels stuck or hesitant to explore,
I say go for it. If you're feeling stuck, get out of your comfort zone. Travel as far as widely as possible. Move. If you're hesitant, remember that it's about the journey and the willingness to experience life as it comes. That said, your body is not a temple. It's an amusement park. Enjoy the ride. Life is short and there are experiences waiting for you that can change everything.
you emphasize the importance of moving and exploring the world. How does that relate to your belief in sharing meals?
If I'm an advocate for anything, it's to move. Travel changes you. As you move through this life and this world, you change things slightly, and in return, life leaves marks on you. When you travel, you encounter diverse cultures and cuisines. Each new place offers a different way of living and eating, and every meal shared with locals is a lesson in empathy and understanding. It's about walking in someone else's shoes and appreciating their world through the food they offer.
Your experiences have certainly highlighted the deeper meaning behind food. What do you hope people take away from your travels and stories?
I hope people realize that food is not just sustenance. It's a conduit for connection and understanding. I want them to embrace the idea that every meal can be a journey into someone else's life. Whether it's a street vendor in Bangkok or a cozy kitchen in Italy, there's a story behind every dish. If we can appreciate those stories and learn from them, we can foster a greater sense of community and compassion in our world. After all, food may not be the answer to world peace, but it's a start.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing your thoughts and experiences. Your perspective on life, travel, and food continues to inspire many.
Thanks for having me. And remember, when it comes down to it, your body is not a temple. It's an amusement park. Enjoy the ride.